But many people complain that Canada, you must need a car. Oh, you don't have a car. How can you live? Without car, you cannot live.
Which country is expat friendly?
First thing, the recruiter calls me and say that, oh, your resume is fantastic. It has a lot of information. Every dot, every space in the interview is filled with some qualification.
If I have to compare the process of moving from India to Netherlands or Netherlands to Canada,
we want to apply every day 100 jobs. So we'll take a resume, attach, send. Please don't do it. It will not work. It will not help you at all.
so how do you compare the lifestyle between Netherlands and Canada? If I have to talk about the challenges after moving, about both the countries, how do you compare? Hi guys, I have Ramesh with me, who is right now sitting in Canada, working there into tech profile. And before coming to Canada, he first moved to Netherlands from India, got a job, and then later he moved to Canada. He will be sharing the details. And yeah, so thank you. First of all, thank you Ramesh for coming live here, sharing your experiences, sharing your journey. And yeah, we'll be talking mostly about the comparison between Canada and Netherlands. How are your experiences? Maybe that will be helpful for the guys. So yeah, can you please introduce yourself very briefly, like what you do and whatever you want to share about your background and all?
Okay. Hi Sandeep. Hope you're doing fine. And really, I thank for this opportunity to discuss and share my views and experiences. I'm also, I would also say proudly that I'm part of your CDA. That helped me to get various jobs. So my name is Ramesh. I come from southern part of India, and I'm an engineering professional. Worked in an automotive company in India. It's a multinational company. I worked there for something like 15 years. Before to that, I had another 13 years, 3 years experience. Overall, 18 years experience in India. And to have a better career for my wife, she was an accountant, and we have to move. So she got some jobs in Europe, some portion of Europe, and also Canada. We had some supporting people who can offer us a work permit for a short duration. So then it's like I'm working in a multinational company, and if I have to move, then I should find a suitable job. Otherwise, if I don't find a suitable job, it won't be good to move. That is the reason why I have to approach you, and you supported me well. Then I got a job. After that, I could easily move to these countries. Yeah.
Wonderful. So nice, so nice. So maybe you can tell, when did you move? And yeah.
Okay. By 2022 April, I came to Netherlands. And in Netherlands, I worked for 2 months because I had applied both Canada and Netherlands at the same time. Or I applied for Canada a little early. But what happened is it took more than 4-5 months. The application doesn't look like moving. So it's beyond the actual time that is committed in the website, in the IRCC website. So I thought it may be not worth waiting. Meantime, I also applied for various countries like Germany and Netherlands. So one thing what I see not good from my side is my notice period at my current company was 3 months. So many employers are not liking that I have 3 months of notice period, and after that I will take another 1 month to join and then start formalities like that. So it will take approximately 4 months to move. So then one employer from Netherlands, he supported, actually he's a staffing company, he supported me. He gave me a visa or a job and a visa well before I actually placed a resignation. Even the staffing companies normally take us to another company where we'll be working as a contractor. But even before finding a right client, because every client say that if you get a job, if you offer a job, then we will give a kind of contract signature. Then the staffing company provides us a visa and offer letter. So here the employer or the staffing company took a risk that before finding a client, they gave me job offer. So just to counteract with the 4 months duration of joining, they supported it. That way I could move. Yeah.
Maybe yours is a different experience, but yes, normally like most employers do wait for 3 months. Yes, 4 months is challenge sometimes, but yes, 3 months. A lot of employers, because in the academy, a lot of guys getting offers, and yeah, 3 months is a good time. Like many employers, I would say most of the employers do wait. So yeah, what were you doing in Netherlands?
Okay, Netherlands, I joined a company named TMC Electronics. So I'm an electronics engineer. Already I moved to a project manager level, but there the positions are slightly different, but still they pay competitively. So I joined as an employee of TMC Electronics, and they send me to ASML because these usually we should not mention a company's name, but it's very significant that we have to mention these companies' name. And actually, ASML at Netherlands is a wonderful company.
Yeah.
Every month they recruit really several hundreds of people. That also creates a negative impact on the region, means the houses are not available. That's one difficulty what I faced in Eindhoven city. Yeah.
So you lived in Eindhoven. Okay, that's
Eindhoven,
a nice
yeah.
place, I think. Yes.
Nice place, yeah. It's a lot of electronics companies, especially ASML, who employs really several thousand people. We can say that most of the employees working for ASML.
Perfect. Can you tell more about two things? One, when you say you are an electronics engineer, what exactly you do? You are into embedded or something else? What is it?
Yeah, I'm in embedded hardware. So it's for an automotive field. I can also work in non-automotive because ASML is a non-automotive firm, where what I do is I work with electronic components, circuit design, then sending them to customer. Purely hardware. I don't do any firmware because they also call it as software. So it's a pure electronic components and circuits, ports like we see in the computers and mobile phones.
Got it. So yeah, let's talk about the major, like what are supposed to talk here today. So how do you compare the lifestyle between Netherlands and Canada? At the general level, we'll go deeper in our questions, but at the high level, how do you compare the lifestyles?
Okay, lifestyle in Netherlands is something like the government gives you alternate possibilities that you don't drive a car every day. The whole country is well connected with bicycle pathways. So person like me who wish to go by bicycle or take an alternate mode of transportation instead of using a car, it's really suitable. Also, people who don't want to spend a lot of money on insurance, vehicle parking and vehicle EMIs, these things, Netherlands is more suitable. You just buy a slow speed scooter or you buy an electric bicycle, you can make out. Whereas the lifestyle in Canada is something like the typical American lifestyle. You get paid well, and you can own a car, you can quickly buy a car, and you can have a lifestyle that is very different. What many people dream about, a fancy lifestyle they can live there.
Okay, basically hanky panky kind of in Canada. Okay,
yeah.
But yeah, anyway, like it's feasible to afford the car in Netherlands for sure. So just one thing, like you mentioned about the bicycle. If I'm not wrong, Amsterdam is called as the bicycle capital of Europe. If I'm not wrong.
Yeah. True, because you can go there, pay a small money, you can pick an electric bicycle or a normal bicycle, and you can go as long as possible. You only pay for the days or hours. Whereas the whole country, normally what we see in Canada to Netherlands with respect to bicycles. So Canada don't provide bicycle pathways to move from one city to other city. There is no highway connectivity. You have to go via normal streets. But Netherlands, they have a dedicated bicycle path across the country. So just because when we move into Netherlands, the challenge is that even if I buy an old car, I have to spend something like 10,000 euros, or if I buy a new car, I have to spend 20,000 euros. Then I have to pay for my parking, and then I have to spend some insurance like 100 euros. So what normally person like me thinks is, we enter a country, we work, sometimes we use a public transportation or a bicycle is easy. So let us see how it goes well, whether we will be settled down here. Then it's good to buy a car, but it's not expensive though. But actually in Canada, cars are expensive.
Yeah, but anyway, you can take the car loan or something, so that's feasible at the end in both the countries.
For sure.
Okay. So if we talk about the moving process from India, for example, definitely you didn't move to Canada from India yourself. but maybe you might have some knowledge. But yeah, if I have to compare the process of moving from India to Netherlands or Netherlands to Canada, right? So what are the how do you compare them, basically, the move process in both the countries?
Sure. Yeah. So for Netherlands, the employer can quickly support you for a visa. Basically, they get an application filled by us with all our details. They contact the agency called IND, who provides visas to foreign nationals. And it's a very quick process. So the total process time took us something like 60 days. And within 2 weeks, we got an approval. Actual waiting time took us to get an appointment in one of the IND in India, means in Mumbai. And once we visited Mumbai, we gave biometrics and the basic photographic verification. It was actually quite simple. The waiting time is less. And once you enter into Netherlands, you will wait for 1 to 2 weeks to get that resident permit. They call it as RP. That took 2 weeks. It means only appointment. But the day when I went, already they have the resident permit cards ready for me and my wife and my daughter.
In Mumbai?
No, in Netherlands.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
basically we enter.
Just to understand. So sorry to interrupt. Yeah, just to understand. So first 2 weeks approval was very fast, right? Then you went to Mumbai. It took couple of weeks to get the appointment in IND Mumbai, which is a Netherlands authority, or let's say embassy.
Yeah.
And then you got your visa stamped on your passport for 3 months, which is generally called as entry permit. Yeah. And then you landed in Netherlands, and then you showed them, okay, I landed here, this is my address, and then you just picked up your card based on all the documentation you provided. Maybe it's an employer, or maybe tax details, or your social security, whatever it is, right?
Yeah, right.
Perfect. That's nice. So, and how about Canada in that case?
So Canada is a little bit different, smart, but taking a lot of time. So I can see which embassy or consulate is near to my location where I live currently. So if I live in Netherlands, I can choose the nearest location. I went to Amsterdam. The same thing if I lived in India, I could have chosen Mumbai, Chennai, or Bangalore. I can choose the location. So Canada is slightly different. They operate from multiple locations.
So
and they're flexible. Only thing is the appointments will take a little longer time. It takes more than a month to get the biometrics and verification appointment. You will give biometrics, and also you have to take an additional medical examination for everyone who comes. I don't know if it's due to COVID, but we had multiple tests like chest X-ray and various blood tests. So we have to give the report. They see us whether we are healthy, but this process didn't exist for Netherlands.
Yeah. So basically, you get a job offer. Then your company does LMIA process. It might take 2 to 4 months, 3 months, 6 months. Once this is done, you go to Canadian embassy in India. And then apply for the documents, apply for the work visa. And during that process, like, you submit the application online, then they will send you a letter to go for medical test. You go to the nearest city, to the hospital, get the test done. They will submit the reports to the embassy itself directly. Then once this is approved, you will see the status in the portal, Canadian portal. Once this is done, so then next are just the formalities that okay, they will tell you, okay, on this date or like in this period you have to come and get the passport stamped. Is it?
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah, it took almost 4.5 months after we finished the initial biometric and medical examinations, application submission, everything was done. After that, it took 4 to 5 months to get an invitation. They call it as a passport submission. And we have to go physically submit the passport and pay for a postage, and then we come back and we get the passports delivered to our home.
Got it.
Yeah, and after that, when we enter the country, it's the same like Netherlands. Once we enter the country for the first time, we will go to the border security. After that, they will verify our document. One thing is, Canada gives an additional paper called work permit, which is again a one-page document, and there they will say till when it's valid. So throughout the country, often we will refer to this work permit. We join a job, or we get an apartment for rent, a lease, or buy anything. We have to use this work permit. It's like RP, what we get in Netherlands, the same thing. Yeah.
Okay, got it. So maybe if you want to highlight some of the challenges, or maybe couple of challenges, in when you were moving to Canada or moving to Netherlands, after you got the offer, before you applied for the visa or during the visa application process, anything specific which you didn't like, okay, that can be eased out?
Okay. Okay. In this case, I would say the process in Netherlands is good, but only thing what I didn't like is only at the employer side, they are expecting us to join in 1 month, 1.5 months, which is what I had experienced. Not many
Yeah, that's
employers are
again
ready.
personal thing. Yeah, like I
Personal
said
thing,
earlier.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Apart from that, Netherlands, I didn't see any big issue. It was very smooth, and we can do that. Only thing what I see difference is you will get a job offer, and then you will place a resignation at our own company. After that, means we will apply everything parallelly. We apply for a visa parallelly, then we get it done. But what happens if our visa is refused? So these chances are very, very less with Netherlands. But whereas Canada, there are cases that they see that you don't have enough funds. Even if you go for a work permit, they think that you may not come back after ending your work permit duration. You may run and escape, and you live a illegal stay. That's possibly some. So they have that process, because very few people get rejected, and especially the student applications get rejected, and some work permits also. But it's not. It only gives a fear, and if it takes 4, 5 months, 6 months. So we get a fear whether we will get or not. We already placed a resignation. This is one thing. So I would expect Canada to improve the process, make it faster. Something like 2 months, 3 months is practical. Yeah.
Just to understand, what you are saying is basically you got the offer from Canada.
Yeah.
You apply for the work visa. Still, there is a chance visa might get rejected because of the funds or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, right. Because
nominal funds, I guess, right?
Yeah, we have to show nominal funds, and because
Maybe
very rare
I think
cases.
That's because your case was exceptional. Like your wife moved first, and then she had to show the funds so that you can join her, and then you can also look for the job. Maybe that could be the reason. Because once you get the job offer, so as I remember, the funds requirement is not much there. That's what I found with one of the guys.
Yeah, it's like if you go alone, it's something like $11,000, and if you go as a family, $15,000. It's not huge. Only thing they see also our property. It's something they like to copy the process of US. They will ask you to show the immovable properties, then what savings you have, all those things they wanted to see. But if you go as a student and you are going single, not as a family, then they see that you have family ties back in India. So for sure you are going to come back. But if you are going as a family married, then the family ties all come with you.
No.
So there are cases that they see people don't come back.
Yeah, but again, let's say you went for 2 years, right?
Yeah, I went for 2 years.
You went for 2 years, and then what happens after 2 years? Either your contract gets extended. That's one option.
Yes.
One other option is, after 2 years, they allow you to search for a job for 3 months or 6 months. That should be the regulation, as I guess in most of the European countries it is like this. They give you 3 to 6 months, you find another job, and then extend your work permit, and then by the time you finish 2-3 years in Canada, you are eligible to apply for the Canadian PR under Canadian experience class. That's a normal route, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It means that the employers can give easily one-time visa extension up to 3 years if you are willing to stay in Canada.
So, but then you have to find another job or get the extension with the current employer. But which is normal. It's also case with the European country. So, and if once you are in the country, it's possible to find the job. Like there is not as much as struggle when you are sitting in India looking for a job, and when you are sitting in Canada and looking for a job, right?
Yeah, true. When we are inside Canada, it's easy. Because most interviews, they also wanted me to come in person. Actually, the interview is over. They wanted to see the person by face. So everywhere there is a face-to-face session. We have to go, say hi, have a coffee, and then come back. And the same day the offer letter was issued. It's very simple. Yeah.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. If I have to talk about the challenges after moving, about both the countries, how do you compare?
Okay, only challenge what I had in Netherlands is housing. Means, yeah, especially in Eindhoven, it's a small city. They don't have much population. It's totally a 5 kilometer radius city. And ASML is taking a lot of people, really lot of people moving inside. They're expanding, they're growing. So it's a place where it's a lot of growth in that sector. So people move in and not enough housing. So I met almost 5 to 6 Indians who all moved some time ago. So they lived in a small accommodation, temporary accommodation, or kind of sharing. And after 6 months, you have a bank salary transaction anywhere in Europe. They give you a home loan, and everyone who want to make a long stay, they buy a home. It's affordable. It's something like 300,000 euros onwards. It starts in Eindhoven city. You can buy a home and they start their life. It's very easy actually. It's less cost.
But why can't people, in 3 months after you moved, in 2 to 3 months you have your salary slips with you, you can start looking to rent out the apartment?
Yeah, the thing is, rental, normally the prices are low. One thing I would point out specifically is that even if there is a high demand for housing, not many houses are open. Still, the prices don't go up dangerously. It's still low. It's regulated. It looks like it's regulated. They don't increase a lot.
So
But
you
what
mean
happens
for the
is
renting or for the purchasing? I'm
for the renting, I mean, yeah, for the renting, yeah, for the renting. What
Then
happens
why
is
don't
up to
people rent it?
Okay, the thing is, not many houses are available. The procedure is quite different. You cannot straight away see a house address and you can go and visit. That's not possible. As per regulation, we have to apply for visiting. We have to take an appointment,
Yeah,
and
that's
that
normal.
appointment, yeah, that's normal. It means that the first or second person goes, they pick the house, and you don't get it. So I actually applied. From being in India, even my friend applied on his behalf. On my behalf, he did it, but we didn't get any. That's one thing what I see in Netherlands, but it's only in Eindhoven city, not in Amsterdam, Rotterdam, big cities.
Yeah.
Otherwise, alternate idea is you have to buy a car and travel some 10-15 kilometers every day one way, live in another small town or city, then you can manage for sure.
But yeah, even in Germany or maybe other city, it takes to find, when I say Germany, I mean the big cities. For example, Munich, Berlin, Stuttgart, it takes 2 to 3 months to find a rental apartment.
Yeah.
It takes that much time. That's why maybe I can share something here for the guys looking to move to Europe or any other country. So first, get a job offer, apply for the visa, move here, get a temporary place. There are a lot of websites you can find a temporary place and stay there 2 to 3 months. And during those 3 months, keep looking for the rental apartment. That's what I would say. Yeah, because it takes 3 to 4 months to find the rental apartment. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Might
we
be
took something
expensive.
like sorry to interrupt you. So we took something like a temporary accommodation. It's like a studio type apartment. But they allow us for a stay of 3 people. Normally, you will find many studios for bachelors where one person can stay, or you get one bedroom and a common shared hall. This a lot is available, and if 2 people want to stay, still they will get something, especially in Eindhoven city. But if 3 people, like 3 people are with kids, 2 kids, there is some government regulation. They need some square meters for a family of 4.
True.
Yeah, so we have to wait really longer than we would normally expect, because I started search something 2 months before I started. I traveled there. It took for me 4 months to find something, but I didn't find any. So that is one kind of motivation when I got the Canada visa. I already lived in Netherlands for 2 months, and I also faced this housing crisis. Then Canada looked more lucrative for me. I moved it. Otherwise, I could have denied. That's the only reason why I should leave Netherlands, being a beautiful country, good job, secured. And next 5 years, I had the PR. I mean RP. I don't need to move out. And before the RP ends, I can write a Dutch exam, and I can get a PR or a citizenship. Both are easy.
But then people also get paid very well in Netherlands, because we have examples. People got the offers from 80,000 to 100,000 euros. Even in booking.com, we have people working with 120,000 euros a year in right now.
Yeah, sure. There are in-demand occupations, even ASML, because I was a contractor to ASML. I'm not a direct employee. If I've been a direct employee, then I could have got little better paid, and if I'm in a software or a higher position, there are chances. Netherlands is not also low in payments.
Yeah. And also maybe you should mention maybe about 30% ruling, which we cannot
that's
miss.
important.
Maybe you can.
I forgot to mention. Yeah. So basically, what they do is out of your taxable salary, they make something like 30% of your taxable salary gets non-taxable. It means if you are coming in a highly skilled migrant HSM category, and for the first 5 years in Netherlands, you get this opportunity. But after 5 years, then you will pay taxes like anybody who would do based on their salary. So it means that you will get extra easily, even for a minimum pay, you will get easily 1,000 euros extra on your bank account every month. That's a very good thing.
How many, sorry?
Easily 1,000 euros per month. It's a huge amount.
A lot of money.
Yeah, a lot of money, yeah.
A single student can live without any problems in 1,000 euros.
Yeah. Sure, yeah.
Perfect. Yes, yeah, that's a good way, because they want you to stay in the country, and then eventually you become eligible for citizenship, and then you are permanent citizen, and then the government keep getting the taxes from you. Maybe I want to summarize it with an example. Let's say someone gets a salary of 80,000 euros, right? And then there is in every country there is certain tax-free amount for everyone. For example, in Germany it's 11,000 euros for single, or for if you are married it's 11,000 plus 11,000. So 20,000, 22,000 is tax-free for everyone, right? So there will be X amount, same in Netherlands. Let's assume 10,000. 10,000 is tax-free for both the people, husband, wife. So 60,000 is left. Now out of this 60,000, you are saying they will put another 30% tax-free, which will be 6 into 30% will be 18,000 of 60,000. So 18,000 will additionally be tax-free, which will become 42,000 will be the taxable income for next 5 years if you are working at the same salary, for example.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's wonderful. Good. And then you get 1,000 euros extra every month for 5 years. It's a big amount. Yeah, because we compared with the salary what my friend got in Germany. We both moved at the same time. So he got in a better job, better position, and big company. And his salary, and finally after taxes, what he got and what I got, both are same. Yeah, maybe your salary might be less, but then you got the 30% ruling advantage, and then eventually you were paid more than him. That's wonderful.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe that's a tip for someone like who is moving to Netherlands. Let's say you get even a little bit less salary in the starting. That is okay, because you will still be fine, because you are getting paid for 5 years. You move here, work for 1 year, 2 years, couple of years, and then look to switch. Then your salary will be eventually better in Netherlands.
Also, Netherlands, even inside ASML, the official language should be English. You should not make any official communication in Dutch or any other language. You have to make it in English. That's a beautiful part, because earlier I also had lived in Germany for 2.5 years on different on-site and deputations. There, they use German. That's one advantage in Netherlands. Yeah.
But it depends on the company culture. Yeah, that's
of course. Yeah. Actually, Eindhoven and most of the Netherlands cities are internationalized. You will see the equal number of foreign population, because I can easily identify who are Indians, who are coming from Asia, Chinese. I can identify easily visually. So I could see a lot of people there, and to whomever I talk, they say that it's an international city, and it's a expat culture is good. The country also supports a lot of expats. And they keep everything is simple and English. And even I could see, if you go to a grocery mart, you see an old guy who is lifting up something, and we ask, could I find this item? He speaks in English. So English also seems like a language that everybody speaks and understands.
And what about the challenges of Canada after moving?
Okay, after moving, it's like you have a job, you have an offer letter, but you have not started the job. It means that, and one more thing is, your visa is totally valid for 2 years only. So what happens is that the housing, we are limited to take the housing. Say somebody owns a condo, it means an apartment owned by a single owner is called as a condo. If it is owned by a staffing, if it's owned by a company, it's called as apartment. And there are independent houses. So independent houses and condos, since they are owned by single owners, they have some legal issues. They say that if you have a PR, if you have already started the job, if you have citizenship, because what happens once you move in and you refuse to move out, they cannot simply send you out. They have to do the legal process for another 6 months to 2 years to send you out. So that, because Canada is a country which is more giving privileges for people than anybody. If you are
it is same in Germany. If you lose the job, you are living in an apartment, the owner cannot kick you out.
So what happened is I had an offer letter, but I didn't yet start the job. So you have to go with same like every country. You have to go with first month and last month rental as a deposit, and you have to fill an application. They will check your how your legal things.
Yeah.
Like you have a credit history. So this was difficult actually for me.
But I would say it's the same thing what we were talking earlier. Like I was telling, it's really difficult to find the permanent accommodation, not temporary. Permanent accommodation while you are in India. You got the offer, any country in the world, not just Canada, Netherlands or Germany. Find a temporary accommodation in any possible way. Find an Airbnb, find through some company, whatever. There are a lot of options. They will give you apartment for 3 months, fully furnished, fully loaded. You just take your bag and that's it. You go there and then start living, and then you get first salary. Now you have something written, okay, you are working at XYZ company, and start looking for the permanent rental apartment. And in few months, once you get it, you cancel the contract with that company, because they extend they have 3 to 6 months contract based on for how many months you book it, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months. And then you have booked from India 3 to 4 months. You come here, keep looking, and when you get something based on your salary, like you told, okay, are you working, are you getting the salary, because at the end you have to submit all these documents to the apartment owners, this is my salary, this is my appointment letter, this is my passport, this is my visa, this is my whatever documents. You have to be quite open. It's not like India, right? You have to submit your documents. That's the standard process, I think. Any country you go, it's normal, I think.
That is what we took. What happened is one apartment accepted us, and we gave the bank draft for first and last month rent. And after reviewing it, normally any apartment says please give a draft. It means that we are 99% approved. But after giving a draft, I was rejected. They said that you have a job offer, but you have not started a job.
Because you didn't get the first salary yet.
Yes, that was a challenge.
That's same in across Europe. Even in every country you will find the same law, because they want to be sure. Like I said, if somebody is living in the apartment, you lose your job, they cannot kick you out like this. So that is the reason that they want to be sure. They want to be sure that okay, you are still getting the salary. That's the most important thing. So because at the end, there is one thing, like somebody, let's say if I own the apartment and my tenant loses the job, then still tenant can pay my rent if he really wants to. Because in these countries, what happens, you are contributing to the social security. If I talk about Germany, you pay 70, you start getting 67 to 68% of your salary till some figure, till some cap. You are still getting a good amount of money to survive, to look for a job. This is called as social security benefits. Basically, if you want, you can really pay the rent. So but then the person living in the apartment has to be really genuine and authentic. That's what they want to ensure.
True. Because for us it's new, because we moved from India. We got in Netherlands temporary accommodation easily, and wherever we go, also we found one house which is like kind of it's not a regular house. It's for camping house. That's what we got. and the owner was an Indian, and he didn't check anything. I just came into ASML, he didn't check any documents. I gave him draft and he accepted. It was very smooth. But only thing is, it is little in a remote location where we have to come through agriculture lands, and my wife was a little bit afraid, and we have to finally deny it. That's the one thing what happened. But they took if they see us, they gave it easily. But whereas in Canada, everything is formal. You submit document, they will ask you to sign a letter, to check your credit history.
Yes.
Oh, same. Okay.
Yeah, it's in
Because for
Germany,
me,
it's, like people say, there is a saying in Germany, finding a job is easy than finding an apartment. It's quite normal
Okay.
here too. So
Okay.
maybe it's your experience in Netherlands.
Yeah,
which was quite
yeah.
exceptional. But I would say it's quite normal everywhere. Yeah. But anyway, let's go. Okay, which country is more bureaucratic? Like the
I
processes
see
are
in
really slow. Everything works on the letters, because in Germany, if you have to get something done from the government department, it's not that okay. Then most of the things will be less online, because before COVID it was totally bureaucratic. After COVID, lot of things have come online. You can do a lot of things online now, but things are very slow in terms of everything works on the post. So how is the experience, bureaucracy, processes in the government departments in Netherlands and Canada?
Okay, Netherlands, it is simple. Means we submit document, and most of the support is given by our employer. So they submitted everything, and we visited once the local registration. They are ready with our cards. I didn't face any difficulty opening a bank account or some government documentation. It's quite easy. But whereas in Canada, when you get anything for first time, you get your first health card, the first driver's license, everything first time, you have to take an appointment. And there is a different rule for expats versus the natives. If they are a PR or a citizen, they can even go on Saturdays. There are some offices work on Saturday, whereas they call it as Service Ontario and Service Canada. There are two. Service Ontario is the location where we often visit to get a health card or to get our insurance papers, something like that. So we will go there, and you have to go on the weekdays. And if you put an appointment, you have to wait for 1.5 to 2 months to get an appointment. Where that was just 2 weeks. It's all. I will not call it as a bureaucratic. They also have an online process, but only thing is the number of applications and the waiting time is more in Canada. And there are some procedures what Canada follows, like handling criminals. Everywhere they call it as more people friendly, over people friendly. That sometimes there are news channels saying that why a criminal have to be arrested 150 times and again released, because it's like human rights. They support people. They don't want any person to get killed. That way I see some such procedures as bureaucratic, and they have a complicated PR process, but many people come in, and a lot of Indians get chance. Out of the total incoming people, almost 60% is Indians, and another 20-30% is Chinese, and various other nationals come in. But Indians always being the huge thing. So I would say it's an open gate for Indians. That's what I would call. But bureaucracy, after you get the first documentation, it's easy for you.
That's fun. So basically, what to understand, if you don't have the PR or citizenship, then the process is longer for you, in short.
Yeah, in short, yes.
Yeah, okay. And which country is expat friendly?
Okay, Canada, both the countries are actually expat friendly. But one thing what I would say is, Netherlands being a small country and with a different language, they accommodate people who don't speak their language. They can live all their life in Netherlands without speaking their language. But here in Canada, if you come into Canada, if you don't know English, you can't. So in that expat friendly, but again, Netherlands also need a common language as English. But Canada, they expect.
They help you learn the language. If you don't speak the language, and if you deserve it, they support you to learn the language.
Yes. True. So expat friendly, I would call Netherlands the best.
Okay. And what about the racism in both the countries?
I've never faced any racism. Somebody call it as racism. I've never seen any crime in front of my eyes. Not even big accidents in front of my eyes. They are actually safe countries.
Both of them?
Yeah, both of them.
Okay, good. I think you have already talked about the renting, so we don't need to touch upon that. Okay. So, how is the education system? Okay.
In Canada, it's public schools are there, I have not heard about any private schools. Public schools are all taught in English, and if you wish to take a French school, there are also French schools. And so everywhere it's a public school concept, and you don't pay any fee. You just get it for free, like anywhere in Europe, like Germany or Netherlands. It's the same. Only difference between Netherlands and Canada is, since here English is the primary language, except one Quebec. All other provinces in Canada is English speaking, and you will find a lot of English schools, whereas in Quebec you may find 50-50 English and French schools, or even lesser English schools. But it means that's the only difference with Netherlands, because Netherlands, they have all public schools taught in English, in Dutch, and some schools are bilingual. So you have to wait a little longer to get a bilingual school. But there are also a couple of international schools available, even in Eindhoven. We had one international school, and the fees is quite lesser compared to Germany, because I think Germany, they charge between 1,000 to 2,000 euros a month for an international school, but Netherlands, they charge 8,000 euros for a whole year. That's much better. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's nice. But just to add some more information here, if somebody is moving to Germany, having kids, let's say 6th or 7th class, they don't struggle. Reason being, first 6 months in the education system, they know you are new. They will teach only German plus science plus maths. That's it. Because in 6 months you will be surprised. Your kid will be at least at the B1 level, talking general German to communicate with the teachers, with friends. They really give the environment, culture to the kids. So kids adjust very fast in the German language because that is the beauty. That's how they have designed their system, because this is a diverse country, having people from across Europe, outside Europe also. So yeah, that's how they have designed it. So which is working, I would say. Yeah, that's what
even in Netherlands. Even in Netherlands, it's the same way. They consider expats and they have to adapt in all those things they are doing. But only thing, since we hear it newly, we are not much confidence on their system. That's why we go for international. It's not their system is faulty. Yeah. And another thing is what we think additionally is, okay, if I'm living in this country, if I don't like this work, if I want to leave this country, go to another country or go back to India, then again, I will have some gap, again, learning a different language. These are all limitations in our mind, but not really with the system, I would say.
Yes, I would say.
Yeah. So I was more dependent on international schools in Eindhoven. Yeah.
But just one thing I always think is, maybe that's a very good point you have mentioned, that somebody coming here, like you have the fear for sure, like will I stay here or not, long term or not. That's one thing. But then let's say if I'm here for the long term, right? Because in the international schools, what I have seen, mostly Americans will come, Australians will come, and then their kids will go there for a few years and then they move back to their home country, right? That's how it works. Germans, I wouldn't say that Germans are not there. German kids are there, but yeah, percentage will be less than, like in Germany, roughly no more than 30%, right? So practically less of a German speaking environment. But if you are here for the long term, you have decided, okay, I'm going to stay in Europe, I'm going to stay in Germany, then it's good for your kid to go to the public school, because then kid grows up in that kind of environment. Then he can make the German friends. He understands, okay, how the culture works, what are the festivals, and yeah, how things work here. So then he gets used to it, and then it gets much easier for your child in the long term, and then eventually you also learn from your kid. No?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, if you take international schools, then Indian kid grows as an Indian kid even in Netherlands, right?
Yeah. But
so then they will form groups. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So, but whereas in Canada, since we are good with English and any school we get English, so that's also one attractive factor. From the beginning, we thought Canada is good over Netherlands because of this. If we had a smaller kid or a kid above 18 years, then we don't have any restriction. It's only our mind restriction. It's not the system again, I would say.
Yeah, true. Yeah. And how do you see the transportation in both the countries? You mentioned about the bicycles already in Netherlands, and Canada doesn't have this. Other than this, how do you see the public transport?
Okay, the city where I lived, Eindhoven, it had only buses, but the whole city is something like 5 kilometer radius, and the buses are frequent. Only thing when before buying a car, if you would like to 100% rely on a bus transportation, then we have to see the rented houses, close proximity to bus stops and bus routes. Otherwise, sometimes we have to walk a little long inside the residential area to reach our house. That may not be so good when we are at urgent moments, right? Apart from that, they have a very good coverage of public transportation. No worries. If you have a house, you can live without a car. That's possible in Netherlands. Also in Canada. Only difference, Canada is so big. Some streets like Yonge Street in Toronto, it goes to several thousand kilometers. Normally we see a street, or we call it as a road in India. That road will go something like 5 kilometers, 10 kilometers as a straight street. That's really marvelous. But here, I'm traveling in one street, it's like 50 kilometers long. It goes beyond that, but I stop at 50 kilometers distance from the main city. So streets are long, and every time you want to reach a destination, that's 2 streets apart. So you have to change 3 buses.
Okay.
But there are many possibilities that if you know that this is my job, this is where I'm going to work, you can choose in that street an apartment, then you can take a bus. I've lived in Canada for almost 1 year and 3 months without having a car. I never took a taxi, never relied on anybody. I could live in a bus. But many people complain that Canada, you must need a car. Oh, you don't have a car. How can you live? Without car, you cannot live. Many people used to commend me who are living in Canada, but it's not true. It's not true. We have multiple options. We can rely 100% on public transportation.
That's amazing. I also always used to think, okay, in Canada you cannot live without a car. That's what I heard from everyone. That's interesting.
Yeah, and also people say that here the winter is really very cold. Many days there are snow. And how do you manage to wait in bus stops and all? There'll be questions. Yes, you need a good clothing, good winter shoes. They are going to cost $50 a winter shoe and $50 a winter jacket, or $100 a winter jacket.
Yeah, definitely.
If you're protected from cold, if you're protected from slipping down, then you are good.
Yes.
Because I traveled like that for many months here, even during winter. I crossed one full winter. So I survived, basically. It's only that we should have a strong willpower to live in a different environment condition. It's not about the bad conditions here. Because we see many people who cannot afford to buy a car, who are really getting very low wages. They always depend on bus.
So it's in the mind at the end.
Yes, exactly.
Good.
Only thing, how much time you can spend in the transportation. Say you and your wife, both of you are working, and your kid have to stay home. The kid is a small kid, so we have to say we have only 2 remote days. She have 2 remote days. Then what to do at the 5th day? And we have to come early, do some household chores, support wife. So these things and all is really affecting us whether to take a transportation which takes more time compared to your car. That's the only decision. But if you are able to manage that, if you have some level of autonomy, then we can manage with public transportation, no issues.
Basically, you are recommending to, like, somebody has the car, then he can save on time.
Yes.
Okay, got it. You mentioned one thing, that you can live anywhere in Netherlands, and bus network is really good. It's just that sometimes you have to walk a little bit. You said walk longer. You said this word.
Yeah.
Can I ask, when you say long, how long do you walk? Like, the person has to walk I want to understand, because I have something in mind from Germany perspective. That's why I'm asking this question. Yeah.
It's long means again only for Indians like me, because India I had my own car, my motorbike. So I don't need to walk at all. So for me, walking 1 kilometer from a residential area to the bus stop is long for me. It's only for me.
That's why I asked this question, because here also maximum you walk 1 kilometer maximum. Yeah. And then you have bus, tram, U-Bahn, I mean metro or suburban train, you have everything in the vicinity, and one kilometer is like 7 minutes, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Or 10 minutes, right? So
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
why I wanted to understand this long word. Yeah. So basically, yeah, everything will be in the vicinity of 1 kilometer in terms of transportation.
Yeah, yeah, true.
Perfect. Good. Okay, if we compare about the insurance and health system between both the countries, what do you say?
Okay, health system in Netherlands is you have to pay and buy an insurance. It's part of your salary. They will
How
deduct
much?
for insurance. I heard something close to 100, not even 100, 60, 70 euros per month per person.
It's
The rough
nothing.
value.
Okay.
It's nothing. And it's covering the basic health care. And if you want to cover more, I know in Germany it's much more than that. So for kids it's low based on age and all, it's different. And then what I saw is, to have an enhanced healthcare, you would normally tend to pay more, because you want to cover dental, eye care, ear care, and if you have some specific health issues where you may require some kind of physiotherapy, those things you will add a little bit. So it may even exceed 150 or 200 euros, but ideally you can stay within 100 per person per month.
That's nice.
This is in Netherlands, yeah. And actually we didn't get a quotation properly, because we came initially with an international insurance, and before changing over to the Dutch insurance, we actually moved out of Netherlands. Yeah.
Basically, you don't know much about it. Okay.
Much, yeah, not a clear value, precise value.
Yeah, because if I talk about Germany, yes, I'm almost paying, how much I can say, 1400 euros for all three of, basically, kids are covered automatically, free of cost in the public insurance. Yeah, but for adults, you pay 600 to 700 if you are working per person.
Yeah.
So yeah, or maybe some cases 800. So yeah, we are, like I said, 1400 easily we are paying.
Yeah.
Good. So then, but what about the Canada? We got
Canada. Yeah, that's a good catchy thing. So you don't pay any. If you go as a student, then you will buy your own insurance, which will be something like $500, $600 a year, or not? Yeah, 1 year. But whereas if you do a job and you pay taxes, then you get a free insurance for you, your wife, and kids. Parents are not covered. And this health insurance is something like covering all the critical illnesses that is going to kill you or disable you. But again, the dental, eye care, ear, these things are not covered. So, but the employer naturally supports it just to have a better compensation on employment. They give all those things. So you pay a minimum money. I pay something like $30, $40 a month, which is to have some extra care, better care. And for 1 year, I pay something like $2,000, which is a kind of term insurance.
3,000.
$2,000 a year.
Okay.
Which is optional. It is covering up for 100 life. It's a term insurance, $100,000 coverage in case if something happens to us.
But you don't get the back, like in the term insurance.
Nothing.
You don't get back.
I don't get back. Yeah,
it's normal.
Exactly.
It's everywhere normal. Somebody wants it, can take it. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and hospitalization. It's like I don't hear about any private hospitals exist. All government hospitals.
They do.
You go with your health card and you do it. And private, mostly they are clinics, and the surgeries done, which is of not important. Say you want to do a LASIK treatment for eyes or a skin care treatment. These are all not covered in these systems. You have to pay from your hand, and the government hospitals don't do it. Yeah, they will be. Say if you visit a eye care doctor, just for checkup, you pay $100 in a clinic.
Just for checkup.
Just for checkup, yes.
Okay.
Just he will write what is your eye power.
Maybe I'm curious here. What do you pay for consultations? For what things you pay? For what things you don't pay? Because I'm bringing Germany into context here.
Okay. So for consultation, if you visit any private clinic, if you are between the age of 19 to 64, this age you have to pay a private clinic. and then you have to get it reimbursed from your private insurance. Many people will own Sun Life, which is given by the company, and we pay some small money. So I pay $100 to $150 for a consulting. So it may be an eye doctor or a dentist. You pay easily $100 to $150 per visit. And then glasses. Glasses are very expensive. For me, it's like $250 for a basic glass. It's not having any computer protection, the Blu-ray protection, and the frame is not so fancy. So easily I end up paying something like $800 to $1,000 for one set of glasses. What I would get something in India for $2,000, $3,000.
But I think it's different here in Germany if I compare. I don't pay any single penny for any kind of consultation. Doesn't matter. My teeth, my glasses, my ears, nothing. So almost everything is covered. Root canal is covered, and basic glasses are covered also sometimes. And also like lot of things are covered. Because you are paying €700 per person every month. Right? So lot of things are covered. Even if I talk about the glasses, you get a decent glass. It depends on you. Like people also wear the 40-50 euros glasses. But if you want to have a good glass, good specs, which you will get in 150 euros or maybe maximum 170 with everything loaded.
Okay.
Blue, HD or whatever, like night kind of, light kind of. There are a lot of things. So you get everything loaded in 170 euros. And then you can pay another 15 euros for the insurance. If your glass breaks or gets lost, you order next one, you just pay 30%. 70% will be covered by the insurance.
Okay, that's good.
That's
really insurance good, for glasses.
We have used that insurance for our daughter a couple of times because we always have good glasses for her, and then it works, I would say.
So usually I see here many of my friends who go to India, they buy glasses from India. They pay 5,000 in India, they get glasses, which is of the maximum spec what we would pay here, $1,000.
Yeah, I used to do that, but then I found that it's more better to do it here with insurance, so not bad.
We pay it, so we should use it.
Fine. Okay, so you don't have much knowledge about the social security system in Netherlands, what I understand.
Netherlands, right.
But you can talk about Canada.
Okay, Canada, one thing is...
When I say social security system, one, I'm including pension. Maybe you can also add some other points maybe you want to mention.
Sure. So first thing I will start with like what you get Kindergeld. The same thing here, we get a childcare benefit, CCB. So childcare benefit, they pay once a child is born, and they start something above 1,000 or even close to $2,000 a month. For a month.
Wow.
So people who have 3 kids, they get a lot of coverage, because they say that if you have a young kid, you have to pay for the nanny, you have to put them in the daycare. But if you have also daycare expenses beyond, that is also covered to some level, and then you can claim it for tax reduction. Because here the daycare is really expensive. But people who many people get remote days every week, say 2 days, 3 days, who have young kids, they get it. And both father and mother, they get maternity, paternity leaves, and we can extend it. It's something, the fancy features that normally the companies in India, the government companies and also the MNCs, what they give in India, the same facilities are available here. You can take up to 2 years leave to child raising leave. Even the father gets it.
But you get paid during that leave in these countries?
No, actually, it's not the whole duration, because women get something like 6 months, beyond which they have to. Whereas in India we get only 3 months, and here they get 6 months, and men get to take care of their kids. I think 3 months, something like that, not beyond. But the main attractive thing is the childcare benefit. So whoever comes as a PR or whoever is a citizen, they start getting immediately. But person like me who came on a work permit, I will start this childcare benefit after 18 months of stay. So something like if you have a kid who is doing a middle school, you will get around $500 a month. Canada thinks that, okay, if you have one kid, they need a separate bedroom, your rent will be high, and you need a larger car, you need more space on the car, and you need to give them food and uniform. Some schools have uniforms, so that expenses they give. So they make sure that the government raises your kid and you don't spend any money, you only be a guardian to the kid. That's what I see in an ideal case. And then about the pension, pension is not so great. Once upon a time it was good, but recent days the inflation and prices hiking up. Pension is somebody works on a moderate wage and worked for 20 years, they would get around $800 a month as a pension. So it means that it forces you to say own a house so that you don't pay any rent, and one person with one owned apartment, no EMIs, then you get $800. With that you can manage your basic expenses like food and local transportation and all
after you retire.
But after retirement, but it won't pay your
pension doesn't vary based on like how much I'm contributing from out of my salary every month.
Yes, that is going to contribute. That's why I mentioned something like a medium wage, and contributing for 20 years. So it's same like I think in Europe, means you contribute more number of years, amount of money you contribute, you get accordingly.
So which country you like more, Canada or Netherlands?